Marvel's Cable, Marvel Legends, Zabu Build-A-Figure Wave. We've gotten plenty of cables before from Marvel Legends, both Toy Biz and Hasbro. Will this be the best one? What is up, my peeps? It's The Ruckus back at you again with another action figure review. Hope you guys had a great Memorial Day weekend, the unofficial opener of summer 2024. We're about to get it in. We are in the countdown. We've got just a little over 2 months until San Diego Comic-Con and Deadpool and Wolverine, to be quite honest with you. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I can tell you right now, I will be going to Comic-Con on that Thursday, and right after it's done, I'm going to Hayaka to the nearest theater, and I'm going to watch that movie. I just know it's going to be a winner, the first winner from Marvel, Disney Marvel, in, well, about 3 years minimum. Anyway, enough of what I'm going to do in the middle of the summer. We're here to talk about what we see before us. We've got Cable from the Zabu Build-A-Figure Wave, courtesy of Marvel Legends. You see what we got going on there. Cable in all his glory's got a second set of hands. They both look to be trigger finger hands, but his left hand almost looks like a trigger finger hand, but I think it's just a grasper, a kind of modified C gripper. We'll know that when we get him out of packaging. He's got a couple blasters, and he has a Build-A-Figure piece to put Zabu together. We've got the Marvel logo at the top because this wave is not associated with any franchise except Marvel itself. We've got some artwork of Cable, and then some more. And this is an entirely different costume than what he's in packaging. And you can see that right here. So we've got Cable, some good artwork of Cable right there. We've got the readout. And of course, down below, we've got the Build-A-Figure Zabu. And we're almost ready to build Zabu. We've got one more to go. And speaking of building, we've got the 7 figures in this wave, 6 of which are required to build Zabu. The Superior Iron Man isn't one of them. Turning back to the front, we'll check out Cable in all its glory once again. And next time, he'll be out of packaging. And here we go with Cable out of packaging. And my first thoughts are with this costume that he's blazing right here, I am reminded, I believe this is more patterned after his appearance in the Capcom game. So he will probably be referred to as Capcom Cable. Yeah, okay. Good luck with that. But yeah, the figure looks good. I'm going to do something this go around that I know I neglect often. Sometimes purposefully, other times I just forget. But I'm pretty consistent with not doing it. And what I'm talking about is taking a height measurement. The reason I'm going to make sure I do it this go around is because Cable, the character, is a big guy. He is listed at 6'8". So yes, that makes him taller than Thor, taller than She-Hulk. So I want to see how tall this particular Cable is. I'm looking at him and I'm getting the feeling he's a little shorter than other figures, other versions of Cable that we've gotten before. But we'll see. You know, Hasbro hasn't always been the best when it comes to consistency in maintaining scale according to the character in question, but we'll see what's going on this go round. Cable comes with the left hind limb to build Zabu, and looking as nice as all the other pieces. We will set this aside and get to Zabu when we have him totally completed. We also get with Cable an additional set of hands. Like I stated before, we get trigger finger hands right here, and that's because he comes with a pair of weapons. We've seen these weapons before. They do appear futuristic, so Hasbro got that right there. But and this is of course just a subjective personal opinion, I think Cable is always best when he's rocking a huge weapon. That's what he's known for. Now taking a look at Cable, since we've gotten the accessories out of the way, of course starting with the head sculpt, and looking pretty cool. We get an effect from his emanating from his left eye. He is a mutant, cyborg mutant, and he takes after his mama with the telekinesis. Very powerful mutant. You never really see exactly how powerful he is, because the reason he is a cyborg, as signified by his left arm, is because as an infant he was infected with a techno-organic virus, and his telekinesis keeps it in check because the virus threatens to overwhelm his entire body, transforming him totally. So he keeps it in check, and he can actually shape and bend the virus to his will to a certain degree. So that is the reason why he's got the arm. His arm had gotten totally infected before he was fully able to control the virus. As far as the rest of the head sculpt is concerned, you see he's got the scarring over the right eye. Head looks good, it really does. The hair is looking nice. He's got the white hair going on because he's basically an older cat. He is the product of Madeline Pryor and Scott Summers. Madeline Pryor, you all know her to be the clone of Jean Grey, and she's also the Goblin Queen. And she was cloned from Jean Grey by Mr. Sinister. So that is the reason Cable is even existing. Mr. Sinister was obsessed with creating the perfect mutant, and he figured that Scott Summers and Jean Grey's genes would produce such a mutant. And our product, our end result, is Nathan Christopher Summers, aka Cable. Looking at the rest, you see we've got the body molded in blue, and we've got the straps here. The straps are separate, but they're keyed in, so they're not moving. You got some nice X, red background, black, and then the belt, same thing. It's separate, but it's on tight. You could probably get it off if that is your desire. I'm not doing it. He's got yellow wristbands, also separate, but they are on tight. It looks like just me messing with it. It looks like I can remove them. Then, of course, we've got the thigh bands. Now, the great thing about them is that they are also keyed in. They're separate, but they're keyed in. So Hasbro learned their lesson, all those different iterations of Cyclops with the leg bands falling down and stuff. The legs molded in blue till you get down to the boots. You've got thigh high, you got knee high pads, as you can see right there. And here's where it gets a little funky here. The boots are molded in yellow, but if you look at you look here at the top, that's painted, so it does look a little different. And because it's yellow painted over blue, they only gave it one coat, so the blue wants to bleed out. It's not bleeding out on mine, but you could tell it should have gotten another coat of paint, but Hasbro ain't going to do that. Then we've got the shoes itself. So pretty cool. Looking at the rear, Everything's looking squibby there. There's that hair again. It would have been nice to get kind of a dry wash on the hair to bring out that detail. And of course, once again, the sparkling eye. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. As far as the articulation is concerned, his head is on a ball hinge, so he can look up that far. He can look down that far, chin to throat, cool. He's got just the slightest bit of pivot there, and of course he can 360 it. He's got big old arms, so he can do his he could do the T-pose straight on like that. He can rotate 360 at the shoulders. He's got bicep swivel. He's got double jointed. Well, his left cybernetic arm is pinless. And see, that's what's crazy there. We'll get to why it's crazy in a second. He's got the swiveling wrist, horizontal hinge, and on the other side, he's got the horizontal hinge. His trigger finger hands, by the way, have the vertical hinges. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This side, the right arm, is pinned. So we've got odd number of pinless joints going on here. So that's pretty crazy. As far as the rest of him is concerned, he's got a diaphragm, or rather, I'm sorry, excuse that. He's got an ab crunch. You can go forward that far, go back that far. He's got waist articulation, which is hidden by that belt. He can do the splits to that degree. He can kick almost 90 and go back just ever so slightly. His thigh cut is just above the thigh strap there. He's got double jointed pinless knees. He's got a boot swivel right there at the calf. He can point his toe pretty nicely forward, up very nicely as well. He's got ankle pivot and holes. You know what time it is. Holes, the bottom of his feet. As promised, getting our tape measure out. This version of cable is standing right there at 7 inches tall. So we will see how that measures up to well, at least one other cable figure. And here's one of them. This cable that we've got him compared with comes from the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure wave. That was a Deadpool wave from a few years back now. And yep, they're about the same height. So what's throwing me off is the Sasquatch cable is wider. He's thicker. Plus, he's got those crazy shoulder pads that makes him look even more imposing. So, but the thing that I want to point out is you see the size of the weapon that our cable on the right is bearing. That's what we think of when we envision cable. So we're going to have to figure out something for our boy here on the left. And that something, for me anyway, is this. On our right side, we have, from several years back, the Diamond Select cable. Looks crazy excellent. He's outfitted to the max. You see he's got two sidearms holstered on his thighs, and yes, they are removable. He's got this big knife that's in the rear here, as you can see. Turning back around. I'm being very ginger because he is old, so I don't know if he'll remain. He's pretty solid with the standing, but this is the reason why I wanted to show this cable, not to show off the size difference. We all know that Diamond Select, Marvel Select are 7-inch scale figures. No, because of my whole mentality about the puny weapons that came with our Marvel Legends Zabu Build-A-Figure Wave cable is getting on my nerves. I've decided that I think that I'm going to loan our boy Nathan here on the left. our boy Cable on the right's weapons, primary weapons, one of which is this right here. This came with the Marvel Select cable, and that's pretty sizable. You see the size as I have it just right next to Cable right there, but that's just the tip of the iceberg because our Diamond Select brother came with this. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Look at that. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about when we envision Cable bearing weapons. What do you guys think? Okay, so now what do you think? Huh? Somebody strike up Black Sheep. You can go with this or you can go with that. What do y'all think? You already know what time it is with me. Another good thing about the Diamond Select cable is that he came with a very nice base, which I'm putting our Zabu wave cable on top of right there. You see, we've got, he's stepping on the cape of Strife, and there's Strife's helmet down below. And just for effect, I put in the skull that came with the Age of Apocalypse. And speaking of Strife, here goes the clone of Cable, who is the son of a clone. I tell you, Mr. Sinister is something else. And let's keep the speaking of train going. Speaking of Mr. Sinister, here we are. And he's the very reason why Cable is Cable. And Mr. Sinister is here because he was basically created by Apocalypse. And for the final time, speaking of Apocalypse, here's Insabanur himself, the arch nemesis of Cable. So I'm going to end my review with Cable blazing the weapons he came with out of packaging. It only seems fair because that's supposed to be part of the review. You guys already know what time it is with me. Once this review is done, or I should say once I'm done with this wave and Cable gets put on the shelf, you know what weapons he's going to be bussing. As far as our Zabu Build-A-Figure Wave Cable is concerned, the figure is dope. I think he's very nice. He's patterned after the Capcom game Cable. I think it's curious that we didn't get a right pinless elbowed arm. The left one is pinless, and I'm grateful for that because it being cybernetic, it looks a whole lot cleaner that way because it's supposed to be organic metal, you know, so it wouldn't have pins. So I'm appreciative of that. One thing, I led you guys astray. The thigh bands are not keyed in. They're just on nice and tight. They do move around, so keep that in mind. I apologize for that, but hey, I keeps it real. I didn't try to play it off like I didn't know. So you do have that. The figure looks very nice. Another con, if you will, is that there's no place to store the two puny weapons that he does have. You know, I would, you know, you could forgive that if he came with the weapons, the size weapons that we know him to use. That's one thing. You can't expect him to carry those on his person unless he's holding them in his hands. But with these weapons, you think that at least there'd be a holster for one of them on his back or something, but we didn't get that. So that's unfortunate. But other than that, this figure is nice. It's the average size that Cable has been, so I'm happy about that. He's just not as girthy, you know, but he's the right height, and he's got enough size to him, so that's pretty cool too. Let me know what you guys think about this Cable. Are you going to get him? Are you satisfied with whatever Cable you already have? What do you think about me using the Marvel Select Cable's weapons with this guy? Let me know in the comments below. Also like, share, and subscribe if you will. And hit that notification bell to be informed when I upload another video. We're almost done with the Zabu Build-A-Figure Wave. We've got one more. And if you know who's in this wave, you know who that's going to be. So be ready for that. Anyway, that's going to do it for this. Like I said, we got one more. And I think that with that last one, I'm going to double up and do the review of the figure and of Zabu. And that's how it'll get done.